Welcome back to the Hubbard's Handmade Shop. I am Ryan Hubbard. Thank you for being here. Today I'm going to be making this beautiful walnut dining room table for the Hubbard family. And especially I'd like to show you how I made these table legs look like solid walnut even though they're pine 2x4s on the inside. Stick around, check it out. I've already jointed one face and then come over to the table saw, set my fence to 3 inches, and cut the other side so my boards are right at 3 inches. Okay, maybe just a hair under, doesn't matter. And then when you stack those together, that is again going to be right at 3 inches. These are going to become the interiors of the legs. Anything like this, you know, screw holes or other problems like with knots and stuff, that's all going to be hidden on the inside. It doesn't matter. As long as you've gotten the boards completely straight, you know, you don't have any twist in it or anything like that, and make a nice solid interior to your leg.
Let's go.
It's the second day. I've got my legs out of the clamps for the first glue up. I'm going to take each of them to the joiner, smooth off the bottom, and then we'll proceed to the table saw. So we've come from the jointer. We've got what is now the bottom of our leg flat. So the other factors to pay attention to besides knowing that that is flat is the height of your blade, because my table saw only goes up 3.5 inches and this is 4 inches when I started. I'm gonna bring my table saw blade up to 2 inches or a little over 2 inches and make that in 2 passes. Because you're doing that in 2 passes and you're referencing this fence, make sure that your table saw blade is dead on at 90 degrees. And besides the height of the table saw and the angle, you just want to make sure that this right here where you're cutting is about half of the board that you're taking off, so that you end up with half the board still on your glue up and the other half ready to glue up on the other side.
Let's go.
You might have noticed we have one other factor to deal with before we can proceed to the second glue up. This surface is of course ready to glue up, but this surface we have the overhang from our boards, which had to be left extra long to cover this side. So now that we don't need this, I'm going to lower my table saw blade, cut that off, take this over to the planer or to the drum sander and get this surface ready for glue up. Then we'll proceed to our second glue up. I got my legs out of the clamps for the second glue up, and I'm pretty happy with how they look.
I do have some overhanging edges and some rough glue squeeze out still to deal with, so
let's get those cleaned up, over to the drum sander, and let's see what they look like. Ooh. All right, there you have it. Out of 2 walnut boards and 3 2x4s 8 feet long, I have 4 table legs that I think look really good, almost as good as solid walnut at a fraction of the cost, just to give you a kind of an idea of what that's going to look like when it's all done. So let's go ahead and go on to the next step, which is a 1/8 inch round over all the way around, and then some final sanding to get that ready to go on the table. There you have it for the Hubbard family walnut dining table. It is absolutely awesome that you stuck around to the end of the video, and thank you again for coming back and watching my videos. I hope you learned something from this process. I want to give a huge thank you to the Wood Whisperer, Mark Spagnolo. These plans are his, and there is a link below to his videos where you can find that. There is also a link below to a David Picciuto Make Something video where he made some similar table legs from 3/4 inch material. Be sure and go check those out and tell him Ryan from Hubbard's Handmade sent you. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.